Robert De Niro has given some outstanding performances throughout his illustrious career in cinema history. There are some great movies with De Niro that would not have been the same without De Niro's great performance. Unfortunately, in the last 10 years or so, Robert De Niro has fully shown himself to be a completely hateful and insane human being. I don't blame anyone who doesn't want to see any more movies with De Niro. I don't want to see any new movies with De Niro. He said he doesn't want to retire, but he should be forced out of the business because someone as hateful as him doesn't deserve our attention. I will say Stardust was his last great performance. Not only that, Stardust was a great fantasy picture, and it was very funny, and not a gangster picture. Also, in 2016, Robert De Niro made a movie called Hands of Stone. This was a great, under-the-radar boxing biopic. De Niro's performance in this picture was nothing special, but it was a great presentation of the biography of Roberto Duran, the boxer, aka Manos de Piedra. And the great performances were actually from Edgar Ramirez as Roberto Duran and Usher as Sugar Ray Leonard. Unfortunately, I find that it's still going to be impossible to recommend this movie with De Niro's presence. It's probably going to stay under the radar. Anyway, what I'm saying here is that there are other actors who have worked with Robert De Niro who are the opposite of hateful. And if there's one movie I can recommend you watch, it's Once Upon a Time in America. This was from the 80s, a gangster movie before The Untouchables and Goodfellas. It features Robert De Niro's best performance. I know you couldn't care less about that, but I can tell you that the director Sergio Leone put a lot of effort to make this movie perfect, and it's very fascinating to watch. What I can also recommend about this movie is that it also stars James Woods. And as we all know, James Woods is a fully functional human being today, and he loves us. So for those of you who have recently become fans of James Woods and want to know more about James Woods by watching more of his movies, I strongly recommend you watch Once Upon a Time in America because it features the best performance from James Woods in his acting career. I believe James Woods himself called Once Upon a Time in America the finest film that he has ever done. I don't know what he would have to say today about working with Robert De Niro back in the 1980s with this picture versus how he sees Robert De Niro nowadays. But for those of you who don't want to see any more Robert De Niro movies, let's not neglect James Woods in this one.